and they chose 15 out of our 50. And how did it feel to be one of the, I guess by their standards, one of the top, more grad students to be picked out of the whole selection?
It was really awesome, especially after the show. I wasn't sure what type of work I'm going to see when I go to the opening, but the level of work was very interesting, and it was a really good experience. Especially, first of all, knowing some people in Dallas. Especially, I was new. I've been to the galleries, but I didn't know at that time, especially the art people as much. So it was a really good experience to meet those new artists, graduate students from other universities. So it was great.
In that sense, you also, like I said, you're a visual artist, video artist, visual artist. What is your stance? I guess why visual over going like more traditional style, painting, sculpting? What was it because of your graphic arts background, or?
Yeah, I would say I started with painting though. When I was since I would say I was 10 or something, I started painting. That was one of the things oil painting. That's what I started with. And from 10 to 18 or 19, I used to paint.
Okay.
But it wasn't something that I felt so connected with. With graphic arts, I felt very connected with from the beginning. And then later with video art, I'm kind of like very visual in that sense. But I love the storytelling factor. I love playing with time.
Okay.
But with painting, I feel like it's time frozen. That you're saying, which it's not obviously true because you can have the story in that painting. But for me, that kind of working with time is really interesting.
Okay. And I guess where do you see? A lot of artists today, I guess the older breed, as you might mention, are kind of like are hesitant to involve technology in their in their style. But there's a new breed also that's saying that there is they're too afraid that the technology is going to kill the old style of traditional studio art. But I think it's just evolving. You're still going to have your based sculpting and painting, but it's going to be technological based.
Yeah.
And what do you see the future possibly of like new media art?
That's actually a good question. I'm really glad that now, like at this day and age, we don't have to define ourselves as, okay, I'm a painter, I'm a sculptor, I'm a video artist. You can just be an artist and just do all of these things at the same time. So I really like that. We are all like slashes. We are like this and this and this and this at the same time. So who knows, maybe I start painting one day. Maybe I do the painting again, and those kind of, I think I look at them as all these different mediums that we use to express ourselves and, say something about our message or whatever that is. So with sculptures, I actually play with 3D environment just with installations in that form, or finding a new platform to show videos. So I play with that idea, but I haven't been into painting much. Collages I do a lot of Photoshop and photo work, but painting I haven't done much. But who knows? I might do it if I feel like that's the best medium to show what I have to say. So.
Okay. Going upon when you talked about guilt with social media, you actually just got accepted into you're a new panel for South by Southwest next year, 2010. You have a panel on. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's about Iran election, which happened in June and July. But it's about women, the role of women in that election, and what happened. Was it like because during that time, June, July, when the presidential election was happening in Iran and all the unrest happened, a lot of people said that, it was a Twitter revolution just because of the social network, and it allowed, everybody to kind of be exposed to
But there was more than that.
Yeah, and then at some point they said, this is a women's revolution because women are now in the street, and obviously the world hasn't seen Iranian women as much because they're all like kind of invisible at some point. So that kind of meshes it together. And my research, what I'm doing for my PhD, has a lot to do with the role of technology and social media and especially blog sphere, and the fact that women in Iran started to now have a voice and started to change, that cultural inequality that was existing. So I'm addressing all of that in the panel.
Okay, so I got two questions for you. One is, I think one thing that first came to mind was the fact that when the revolution was going on, Twitter said they were going to, and this summer, Twitter said
Not
they were going
to... Not the revolution.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was the election.
Unrest or demonstrations.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go anywhere, right?
But still, it was during the election that Twitter said we're going to go down for maintenance. and then the Iran government asked, "Can you please keep it open because that's our only way of getting in." I mean, was that event itself any kind of influence for your panel idea?
Yeah,
or,
obviously, yeah. All of those, we're going to address all of those because I have, what we're going to do is talk about the prior to election. That's actually the majority of the panel, talking about how Iranian new generation, the young generation, especially women, started using technology, social media to get their word across and to start changing things. And then how that relates to the Iran election and them, starting doing all these demonstrations and kind of like grabbing the attention of all the media, news media outside Iran. And then what was the role of Twitter in that sense? What did Twitter do? And then, we're going to look at the graphs of how the world was spread in Twitter. Was it because of the other people outside Iran that started retweeting things, and then that's how it started going? Or really people from Iran retweeted? Because there's all those graphs. And talk about what is after this? What's going to happen now?
And I apologize if this question gets too personal, but for some people, a panel idea is just something they're kind of interested in. It's just something to kind of get out there. Does this idea of the panel have any personal draw to you? I mean, what was?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what exactly is the personal attachment?
Just the fact that I kind of grew up in there, and I knew that women went through a lot. I mean, they were going through a lot over there, and now I think they found an outlet. And one of the reasons is because women started this women's rights movement 3 years ago, and a lot of it had to do with social networking and internet, because otherwise, how can you get the word out? And now they're getting a lot of awards. This group of people, the people who are involved in what happened was, now with social media, now they have a voice.
Exactly.
So that's where it started from, really, for this panel.
Okay. And I guess one final point to hit upon is this past week was just, for some of you going to see this will probably be a few weeks, but this past weekend was the Dallas Video Festival, and you were a part of a film that cut the show. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. So Kyle and I did the Click Play, the program was called Click Play. It was a YouTube session for Dallas Video Festival that they approached EMAC, our program, for a 1-hour show on viral videos. And so Kyle and I went through a lot of video
Tons
watching,
of
YouTube
videos.
watching, yeah, exactly, to put together this program. And we were very happy with the selections we had at the end, and I guess we got very good feedback afterwards too.
No, that's true. But the whole point wasn't just to try to find the coolest videos on YouTube. There was there was a deeper point of trying to get this. Can you?
Sure.
You kind of came up with more of the key point what this was about. So
yeah. So what we were thinking, because especially like a lot of people asked us, okay, are you guys looking for a very cool, like mostly hit, the videos with